Hey everyone, and welcome to What Did I Miss? Where today I'm going to give you an update on the possible 4th season of the sci-fi series The Orville, which is created by and stars Seth MacFarlane. In the past week or so, there have been a few news stories about the future of the show, so I wanted to share them both with you as well as give you an overview of the current status of the series. The Orville aired its first episode back in 2017, and in the 6 years since, has only filmed 3 complete seasons, the last of which was produced by Disney after their acquisition of 20th Century Fox and first aired on the streaming service Hulu. Disney decided to put a lot behind the 3rd season of the series, giving it a new look and a larger budget, along with the optimistic tagline, New Horizons. The 3rd season was also a much more dramatic season than the prior 2, which would not sit well with some fans of the series who enjoyed the tone of the 1st season. But all in all, the 3rd season is considered a success for the show and was one of the highest rated seasons of the Orville. Because of this, it was thought that a 4th season would be announced shortly after the 3rd season aired, but as of yet, there has been no official announcement on the future of the show. That has not stopped the actors who work on the show from voicing their opinions on the future of the series, and that's where this latest round of updates comes from. The first actor to speak up on the future of the Orville was Adrienne Palicki, who plays Commander Kelly Grayson on the show. She was on a podcast where she stated that she was done with the Orville and also expressed how hard it was to be a part of the show given the filming schedule. As I mentioned, the Orville has only produced 3 seasons in 6 years, which does not amount to a lot of work for most of the cast of the show. According to the actress, series star and creator Seth MacFarlane is mostly to blame for this given his busy schedule. When she was asked by Michael Rosenbaum on his podcast if she is still going to be a part of the Orville, she flat out said, no longer doing that. She went on to discuss how hard it was to film the show due to the long time periods between filming seasons. It became an actual real issue, she said, because there would be so much time in between seasons because Seth wanted to write everything himself. At one point we were like, we have to fight the studio to give us a holding fee or something. With cast member Jay Lee reportedly getting by on saltines and Gatorade at one point, it was horrible, she said. It is worth noting that in the past 6 years, there has also been 2 shutdowns in Hollywood, one caused by the pandemic and one caused by a strike. There was also a delay in the show's production due to Disney's acquisition of Fox. But it is no secret that Seth MacFarlane is one of the busiest creators in the industry, given his commitment to various animated shows on Fox like Family Guy and American Dad, as well as his new series Ted on Peacock, which he also produces and lends his voice to. Even though Family Guy seems to be his top priority, the writers on that series have even voiced their frustration with Seth MacFarlane's availability.
We now return to the Orville on Fox.
Why do you hate that show so much?
Because it's preventing me from doing my work here at Family Guy.
When Seth MacFarlane was asked about the future of the Orville after the 3rd season finale aired, he said, "How do I work it into everything else that's going on now? I will say that I get as emotionally invested in the show as any of the fans, so I will find a way to do it if there is a season 4. When Adrienne Palicki was asked about the future of the show in general, she did seem to have a more optimistic answer. She said, I think there's talk that it could possibly be something that certain people want to do. There's also been rumors that Disney is very happy about the show's viewing numbers on Hulu and Disney+, and there's no doubt that there's a strong fan base online pushing for another season of the show. This brings us to actor Jay Lee, who plays Lieutenant Commander John Lamar, and something he posted on social media at the very end of November. Lee posted this, which seems to hint that the actor is preparing to return to the Orville in the near future. Fans replied to the post with questions about the show's future, and all that he would say is that he is hopeful and ready for the series to return. Now, this post could be in response to the interview that his co-star did that I just mentioned about the future of the show, with Lee simply implying that he is not done with the Orville and he is waiting for his call. But it could also be a sign that while Adrienne Palicki is not returning, that he still is. Jay Lee actually has a pretty interesting story as to how he found himself on the Orville in the first place, as he began his career in Hollywood as a receptionist. He just happened to get a job at the office where Seth MacFarlane and others were writing the early seasons of The Family Guy, and he became friends with members of the cast. This led to him becoming a production assistant on the show, then later to him landing the role of John Lamar on the Orville. While I can understand Adrienne Palicki's frustration with the Orville's filming schedule, it does seem like Seth MacFarlane tries to do things to help out his fellow actors. For instance, during the writers and actors strike, MacFarlane donated $5 million to the emergency fund that was helping people on strike. I have also noticed that he has started to cast actors from the Orville in his other projects, such as casting Scott Grimes, who plays Gordon Malloy on the Orville in the upcoming series Ted, and casting Peter Macon, who plays Bortus on the show, in a new reoccurring role as Peter Griffin's boss on the series Family Guy.
Attention employees, this is Mr. Lloyd, your manager.
So in the end, what does this all mean for the future of the Orville? I think that a lot may depend on the success of Seth MacFarlane's latest series, Ted, and if that show gets an order for another season. It doesn't seem like American Dad or Family Guy are planning on stopping anytime soon, as both shows still have very devoted fan bases. But since Seth MacFarlane only lends his voice to those projects and does not write for those shows anymore, it is possible that they are not as time-consuming for him as something that he also produces like Ted and the Orville. But if we do get another season of the Orville, it does look like we will not be getting the entire cast back, since actress Adrienne Palicki is obviously no longer interested in continuing on with the show. Losing a major character like Commander Grayson will be a big blow, but I do not think it is something that the Orville cannot recover from. They will also have to deal with the loss of her co-star Norm Macdonald, who passed away before the third season aired. Well, that is all I have for today, but let me know in the comments if I missed anything. Thank you for joining me. Please do not forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button before you go, and I'll see you next time on What Did I Miss?